On a cold Tuesday morning, the airwaves of Nigeria were shaken by an unexpected headline. Former Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari has passed away at age 89. For some Nigerians, the news felt like the closing of a difficult chapter. Buhari, who ruled Nigeria twice, first as a military dictator in the 1980s and later as a democratically elected president from 2015 to 2023, left behind a legacy that many described with one word: hardship. Under his second regime, the naira collapsed, food prices soared, and insecurity spread like wildfire. Fuel queues, ASU strikes, kidnappings, and the silence of a president who rarely addressed his citizens. These were the memories etched in the hearts of many. But just as Nigerians began to react to the news with mixed emotions, some with prayers, others with sarcasm, an unexpected statement came out of Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso. President Ibrahim Traore, the young revolutionary leader of Burkina Faso and a vocal critic of Western influence in Africa, sent a condolence message to the Nigerian government. The message, posted on the official Burkinabe state channel, read, "It is with a heavy but reflective heart that I extend my condolences to the people of Nigeria and the entire West African sub-region on the passing of former President Muhammadu Buhari. Though history will debate his legacy, we must in this moment acknowledge the human journey that has come to an end. President Buhari was a man of contradictions, a soldier who rose to power during the military era, and later a civilian leader who governed Nigeria through some of its most challenging times. While many remember him for the hardship that defined his years in office, economic decline, rising insecurity, and an ever-widening gap between the powerful and the powerless, we must also recognize that his story is part of the larger African story, one of struggle, of leadership missteps, of lessons learned, and of nations yearning for transformation. Buhari's reign, particularly from 2015 to 2023, exposed the dangers of disconnected leadership. His silence in the face of national tragedies often echoed louder than his speeches. His government, marked by fuel scarcity, inflation, and the erosion of middle-class stability, became a mirror for what African governance must move beyond. Yet even in these failings, there is value, not in praise but in reflection. For what is history, if not the sum of both our triumphs and our mistakes? I speak not as a judge, but as a servant of Africa's new dawn. Our generation of leadership is different. We have seen what happens when leaders become distant from their people, when policies favor elites over the common man, and when foreign dependency is mistaken for development. Buhari's Nigeria became a cautionary tale for many of us, including myself, and for that I remain sober in thought, yet committed in resolve. His passing marks not only the end of a life, but the closing of a chapter defined by post-colonial inertia, elite politics, and governance without accountability. May this serve as a wake-up call to all African leaders, present and future, that power without people is failure, and silence in the face of suffering is betrayal. To the Nigerian youth who bore the brunt of his regime, from the pain of unemployment to the tragedy of NSARS, I see you. I hear you. Let this moment strengthen your resolve to shape a future that reflects your dreams, not the burdens of your past. To Buhari's family and loved ones, I offer sympathy. Every life, no matter how controversial, is still a life lived under the weight of duty. And in death, we owe them peace. Let Africa learn. Let Africa rise. Let us never forget the cost of disconnected leadership, so that we may build nations where no citizen is left unheard. May the soul of former President Muhammadu Buhari find the peace that eluded many during his time in office. And may Nigeria, a giant not yet standing tall, finally find its footing in the hands of her people. Captain Ibrahim Traore, President of Burkina Faso,